Alrighty, and are we live? Are we live? I believe we
Yes,
are
sir.
live.
Yes, sir, we are.
Welcome, everybody. Digital Cynics podcast, episode number 5, or episode number 3 if you are counting from the reboot. It's
The first two were a little iffy.
little trial run. That's
Yeah.
what we'll call it. It's Brendan. I can't believe a month has already passed. I cannot.
Yeah.
believe
When
it's
you
been a month
said
already.
it was coming up, I was kind of like, what kind of crap are you on, Blake? It's been like 2 weeks, and
No, I was.
I look at the calendar.
No, this week has been so crazy because I just with this whole month in general, everything just kind of crept up on me, and I was like, oh crap, we got podcasts to do in like a week, so I wasn't even prepared. It's crazy. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. My name is Blake. With me as always is my partner in crime, Brendan. I guess we'll start off before we get onto some of our talking points. Brendan, what have you been playing this month since we've last talked?
Well, I'm still playing Warzone. It's been a lot of Warzone.
Yeah.
Other than that, just pretty much NHL, which I don't recommend anybody purchase.
Really?
Well, yeah, any EA Sports game, I don't actually condone the purchase of. That's a whole different topic. Other than that, I have been playing a good amount of Pokemon Pearl, which I've actually probably been having the most fun with out of every game I've been playing.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's been a while. The last Pokemon game I played was Let's Go Pikachu, and that kind of wasn't exactly like a faithful reboot of those older games. So it's
kind of like a retelling almost.
Yeah, and
retelling.
it's been so long since you and I played Diamond and Pearl that it's a pretty fresh experience for me, and it looks really great.
Yeah,
so it's been fun.
So you haven't really had any issues with it, unlike a lot of I guess the Pokemon community. I don't even know, because like the Pokemon community always seems to be of people who hate everything that comes out Pokemon and everyone who loves everything that comes out Pokemon. So this being someone who hasn't played a whole lot since like some of the older gens, you found this to be pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean it's like almost an identical reboot, so I guess I've only seen positive things. I'm not 100% sure who's unhappy with it, but
well, most of the people that I've heard, it's just kind of like you get some critics that say like, it's kind of same old, nothing a whole lot new. A lot of people don't tend to really like that.
Well, yes,
chibi-esque
it's in fact nothing new because it's a full reboot. It's not a full reboot, but it's a full recreation of an old game. So
right, like a remake.
Yeah, so they can suck it if that's how they feel. Other than that, no, I think the chibi style is fine. It still feels like the old classic games. It's just not pixelated, and yeah, it's been so long. I didn't play Sword and Shield, so like maybe if I went from Sword and Shield back to that, like maybe it'd be different. But yeah, I've been actually having a lot of fun, and it's really like getting me excited for Pokemon Arceus, which we'll talk more about in a little bit.
Yeah, we will.
What about you, Blake? What have you been playing?
Well, so I had to think about this for a little bit, because I've been kind of off and on different games. I recently beat The Witcher 3 for like the 8th time. Played it on my Switch.
That's 8 more times than me.
Yep. Well, the whole Witcher season 2 thing, after I finished that and binged that, I read the audiobook that season was based off of, or I should say I listened to the audiobook, excuse me. And then I was like, well, that's not enough. Now I got to beat The Witcher 3 again. Played Fable. I don't know if you've ever played any of the Fable games, but I played Fable 1 for the very first time, the Lost Chapters on Xbox Game Pass. And I'm surprised. It holds up pretty well. Not as good as Fable 2 in my opinion. I think Fable 2 is still the best, but I think it's better than 3, and I had a good time with it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Fable 2 is great. What was I about to ask? What'd you say? What else did you say you were playing? Fable.
So I played the first Fable.
Oh, The Witcher 3.
Yeah, The Witcher 3.
Quick question: is The Witcher 3 worth picking up on Switch? Because that's what you beat it on, correct?
Yes. Okay. So if you are a graphics snob, I would say maybe don't. That being said, because it's very aliasy in a lot of areas. Some areas it seems like there's like kind of that blurriness to it. It looks like you're playing all the graphic settings turned off and turned to the lowest maximum setting, basically. But what's so great about it is I can, specifically with the Switch version, I can play that in bed, play it on the go, play it at work, and I can link it to my Steam account so that I can upload my saves or download saves from my Steam profile.
Oh
And
yeah, that's right. They
so
added that feature.
so it's such a nice way to kind of keep playing the game. I really liked it. I was able to deal with the like super degradation of the graphics and stuff like that. I would honestly just watch a few gameplays or gameplay videos of that and just see if like, oh, I can't
Yeah, I'd be
handle
able
this,
to
or
tell
oh,
from
I can
video.
tolerate
Yeah, I don't know. I was so into that game when it first came out, and I'm pretty sure I got like 99% through the story, and I just
it. Yeah,
never finished the story missions.
that game ruined Skyrim for me almost. It
Yeah, it was
it,
great.
it legitimately, because like Skyrim at the time was like one of those games where I was like, it's kind of run its course and it's getting ported over and over again, but you know, it's
Yeah,
the
those
gameplay is so good. But then a game like The Witcher comes out, and you're like, oh, not only does it have a lot of the RPG stuff that I like about Skyrim, but it's got amazing visuals and like such a unique storytelling.
super unique side missions, and
Yeah,
yeah.
the side quests are so fun, and I'm probably going to play that game another a ninth time, new game plus. So
Yeah, I got to get on that. Anyway, sorry for sidetracking us here.
no worries, no worries. So before we get to our main topics of the day, I just want to remind everybody, just like our lovely mod Megan has reminded us in chat, if you aren't already subscribed to this channel, you should definitely do so. But also be sure to subscribe to the Digital Cynics gaming page as well. Completely honest with you, full transparency, it's kind of a dead channel most of the time. We typically treat it as our, hey, do you want to get drunk and play some Call of Duty, or hey, we're hanging out today, let's do a live stream or something like that. It's a very casual thing, but if you like that type of content, go ahead and head over there. Be sure to hit like on this video to help us get some viewership in the algorithm as we are live. It helps show our content to people. And yeah, without any further delay, let's get to our first topic. Well, you know what? I'm gonna save that one for the last one. We'll get the kind of the older news out of the way. The biggest thing, Brendan, probably that has happened, arguably in the last 10 years, has happened this month, and that's Blizzard Activision is bought by Microsoft. What were your thoughts on that when you heard the news?
I mean, naturally, as like as a PC player, I wasn't too worried about it, but I'm primarily a Sony console player over the years. It was kind of a bummer to hear.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't know. I guess we live in kind of a day and age where it's just all about like what entities you own now, and it's kind of like all these different streaming services pulling all their content and like making their own exclusive thing. Xbox is trying to become this giant gaming powerhouse.
Yep.
Which good for them.
Yeah, it's kind of like they learned their lesson a little late, because they
feel like they
canceled.
kind of needed it.
Well, back in the Xbox One and like right before that era, they kind of made a lot of weird, questionable decisions. They tried to kind of go all in the multimedia thing with cable and stuff, and then we all know how that went. I think, yeah, I mean, you hit it right on the head with the streaming platforms. I think gaming is kind of following suit with the streaming services, with like Netflix, Hulu. Everyone's trying to make their own streaming platform, and it's all about having those intellectual properties. And I don't know if all of those properties from Activision Blizzard will be exclusive to the Xbox brand name via Game Pass, PC or Xbox. But I gotta say, I am a little excited and hopeful to see something like World of Warcraft, maybe ditch the subscription model in favor of Game Pass. I think by and large, Activision. A lot of people are more concerned about the Activision side, as far as those games, and I think on the flip side, a lot of people think that this is better for a company like Blizzard.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree about the World of Warcraft thing, but
I think something so like WoW, the way I see it, especially with all the controversy surrounding Activision Blizzard and that sort of thing, with the super popularity that is Final Fantasy. I always forget it. Is it 14, 13, the MMO one? Um, WoW has kind of taken a dip in comparison to these new MMOs.
yeah, I mean, I'd say that one. I'd say that one definitely picked up a lot. I think World of Warcraft is still very, very heavily popular, probably
Oh,
over
it's
Final
it's
Fantasy. But I guess my only fear, my only fear with ditching the subscription model is because I think WoW is like 10 or 15 bucks a month, anyways, to play.
mhm.
Are they gonna make enough money by going Game Pass route with it? And my thoughts are no. So what that's gonna lead to is, I guess, an abundance of microtransactions when there
Mhm.
already is so many, anyways, on that game.
I
But
so it's been forever since I've even touched retail WoW because I was never even a WoW player to begin with. Primarily because I could not afford the $15 a month when it was a thing. Uh,
yep.
my thought is, are there microtransactions in WoW now? Or if you
So
do you know?
you can buy like mounts and various stuff like that. I guess at least the most important thing to me in World of Warcraft was always getting the coolest drops and loot and stuff like that, and that's kind of what made the game feel special. Was you had like rare loot that looked really cool. And my
Okay,
fear is if they go that route, they're going to start adding just a crazy amount of like basically pay to use skins. And it's been a while since I played WoW too. It's been at least a year and a half,
okay,
which is
yeah,
actually not that long ago. But yeah, I feel like they're just gonna end up putting just like a ton of like Fortnite type skins and like armor that you can buy and stuff like that.
okay. So,
I
so
think they have things like that already, but I'm just the fear is like
they'll overly
you know
monetize it
they're
and
yeah
kind of Fortnite it a little bit.
to make up for the money they're losing on the subscription.
For sure. I think for me, I can definitely understand that line of thinking. I wonder if because my head immediately goes to like Sea of Thieves, where that game is sort of a games as a service type thing. It is sold retail as well. Like I think you can buy it on Steam. But if you have Game Pass, it's included with Game Pass. Um, so I wonder maybe they can do something like that. Maybe they can do like, hey, if you don't want Game Pass, you can pay the $15 a month, or to reel them into the Game Pass. Because I think any lost revenue, Microsoft can take that hit and roll that into something else, for tax reasons or whatever. But I think it could be possible maybe where they do something like, they'll sell the expansions or they'll sell it, on the Blizzard launcher as is, but then like
Yeah, I was
entice
gonna
people
say
to
I
get
don't.
into the model,
We're also kind of assuming that they're gonna even be integrating any sort of thing to do with World of Warcraft like that. I mean, they could very well just keep having the Battle.net launcher,
Yep. Yep.
keep it a whole separate thing. It's just they own it
Yeah, because I believe Bethesda still has the Bethesda launcher, if I'm not mistaken, and that's been owned by Microsoft for a little while
for
now.
quite a while. Yeah,
Um,
but other than that, I mean, there's going to be quite a while. I think they said it's going to average about 6 to 18 months to even acquire the company. So nothing is going to be changed
yeah,
anytime soon, for the most part.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know how long. I mean, yeah, that's just it because everyone right now is kind of excited and speculating what could happen. But we have to remember that there's all these litigation stuff still going on with Activision Blizzard, and when you still have Bobby Kotick and stuff, and he'll step out eventually once kind of Phil Spencer takes control as kind of the
Yeah,
the
he won't
head
be missed.
gaming CEO. No, he will not. He won't. But there's time. There's time to be had still.
Yeah, they
For this
speculate.
transition to
Yeah,
take
I mean,
place.
they speculated that the actual acquisition will take 6 to 18 months. That's basically
Right.
what they said, and it's already confirmed that the next 3 Call of Duty titles are going to be on both.
Right. And so with that segue, let's talk about COD. Do you think let's say the next 2 3 CODs come out, they stick to their contractual obligations with PlayStation and have these multi-platform releases. Do you see um, a situation ever where Call of Duty becomes exclusive, or do you see what future do you see as far as what Microsoft does with the Call of Duty franchise?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough for me to like even make a decision on that, but
Mhm.
pretty much, do I ever see Call of Duty going Xbox only, Xbox and PC only? Probably not. I think when I looked it up, about 30% of Call of Duty players are on Sony, products right now.
Right.
So I guess there's a couple routes they can go. They can continue to make their money. They can continue to make everybody happy,
Right.
or they can just use it as leverage to, get people to get Game Pass, get people to get Xboxes, and I mean, it's kind of a huge deal to acquire such a massively known worldwide,
I mean,
game
right.
franchise.
I
So
mean, to put things in perspective, like fans of Call of Duty who were disappointed by Vanguard, and Vanguard in some communities was disappointing for the fan base and stuff, but that still, according to the NPD numbers anyway, is still like the highest. I believe it's like the highest selling game of the year, and number two comes uh, to Call of Duty Cold War. So like, I mean, Call of Duty is so huge, and a lot of people in the gaming community who don't really follow how Call of Duty does, because we typically try other games around that. A lot of times we tend to, it's easy to forget just how much of a pop culture icon Call of Duty really is, compared to, like for example, anything like Elder Scrolls or Fallout or something like that, where you ask your grandma if they have heard of Call of Duty, they'll tell you yes. You ask them if they've heard of Fallout, they're not going to know what you're talking about. So
right,
I've heard people say
a
like,
little
oh,
more
maybe the
niche.
right, and I've heard people say like, oh, maybe they'll do something like with Minecraft where they make you sign up for like an an Xbox account, so they at least have like your email or something. You're somehow in
Yeah,
the
like
ecosystem.
instead of like an Activision, because right now you have to log in with an Activision ID.
Right.
They could easily integrate it into some sort of Xbox or Microsoft thing. Um, I don't know. Personally, I think that the continuing future of Call of Duty, anyways, is Warzone, and they already announced that a
Absolutely.
Warzone 2 is going to be launching. They're not sure. Nobody's sure if it's going to be launching next year with then the Modern Warfare 2, like after the
Right.
new Modern Warfare 2 launcher, or if it's going to be a little bit later.
Hmm.
But that's where they're selling the most microtransactions, and
Yeah. I
keeping that free to play model is really good. And honestly, like Call of Duty for a lot of people has just turned into basic, like Call of Duty multiplayer, I should say, has turned into a level up your guns situation. So
right.
people go on there, level up their guns really quick, go back to Warzone. That's all I use it for. I
Yep.
don't even find Call of Duty multiplayer fun anymore. Minus 2019 Modern Warfare. That shit was fun as hell. But
Yeah.
um,
It's
yeah,
uh
I
it's
think Warzone's the future.
yeah, and I kind of agree with you to some extent there. I think the way, if I were to make the best educated guess that I can make, is I would totally see Warzone or any future Warzone type, release stay multi-platform like forever. I think having that cross-play is something super important these days, especially since so many companies are trying to have these games as a service type thing where they're just constantly wanting more and more of your time to play. And the only way to really do that and have a huge player base is to have that cross platform play for multiplayer. And, you know, I, I don't think that they would take that away from PlayStation. Now, I think it's more realistic to think that if they might do Call of Duty campaigns, or maybe they do like, hey, the Black Ops 7, that and its multiplayer are exclusive to Game Pass, but Warzone will keep getting those updates, promoting the next game, promoting to Game Pass. But yeah, I don't see Call of Duty, whatever happens, I don't see Call of Duty 100% going away from PlayStation. I just
so
it's too
neither
big
do
of a
I,
thing.
and this is kind of why I think that. So Activision and Blizzard, absolutely, like Activision's name is on a ton of different games
Yeah.
and titles. I could see any sort of like story game coming out as Xbox exclusive. That wouldn't surprise me at all. But things like Overwatch, things like Call of Duty, it's going to be tough because think about all the Blizzard titles like Diablo.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhat of a niche game, as good and well known as it is, it's still a niche type of game. Not a lot of people, play it compared to a game like Call of Duty.
Right.
Same with World of Warcraft. Same with what else do they have? StarCraft, is that Blizzard?
Yeah,
like all these games
yep.
are super niche. Obviously, they're gonna. Well, those are kind of like limited anyways right now, since most of them are PC. But I think I don't know. I guess I don't really know. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell what they're gonna end up doing. But I think their main source of money is gonna be Overwatch and Call of Duty, and I just don't see a future where it's going to be exclusive.
The thing that gets me more excited about this isn't necessarily like what's getting exclusive. It's okay. Microsoft or Xbox is investing in this company. Maybe we don't need to see a yearly Call of Duty. Like I would love for Call of Duty to have like, a few years break to like make something super hyped, give time for it to build, try something new. Keep Warzone going, that's fine. Everybody, you can kind of keep that going and update that as is, but and same thing with something like Overwatch, and now they have Halo. So there's a lot of these shooters, and you can kind of give all of these games time to breathe. You can allow good amounts of time to really try to make something cool. And so that's kind of what I'm more excited about. And with as far as the acquisition of Activision goes, I don't know how much you know of this, but they, I think they shut down Activision, shut down Vicarious Visions, the company that made the Tony Hawk Pro Skater remake. They worked on the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, and so they shut that company down. And then they took Toys for Bob, the company I believe that made the Spyro trilogy, and I could be wrong. I think they made Crash 4. They've made a lot of like
I'm pretty positive,
pretty decent.
Right?
They're a solid AA studio, and Activision was like, all right, no, you go work on Call of Duty now. You go work on Warzone, and I'm like, that's such wasted potential of a studio like that. And now they're good at AA titles. Microsoft owns Banjo-Kazooie. They own Conquer. All of these cool old school rare 3D platformer type games. I would just like to see a lot more of this talent get utilized and not just
instead of tossed over to like Call of Duty where they're
thrown into Call of Duty so they can get the yearly release. Yeah.
True.
Before we move on to our next topic, again, just want to let you know to make sure to hit that like button, hit subscribe if you want to see more content like this. We do the podcast on the last week of every month. We usually try for Wednesday. Today is a special circumstance. But yeah, last week of every month we do the podcast like this, and we will make sure to set aside time at the end of every single podcast to read our Discord community servers. There's a channel, DC Podcast, where you can leave topics, questions, whatever, and we'll make sure to read those. And we'll also make sure to set aside time for any super chats that you leave. So feel free to leave that. Links for the Discord is in the description down below. So for our final topic,
nicely put, Blake.
Thank you.
Nicely put.
I'm trying to make it a little more professional, trying to ham it up a bit and do a little bit self promo.
Hey man, ham is delicious.
That it is. That it is. So, final topic before we get to any sort of Discord questions, if we have any. Pokemon Legends Arceus. This game, honestly, Brennan. So I played Pokemon Sword and Shield. I should say I played Pokemon Sword. I beat it. It was fine, but I more so beat it out of obligation than
Yeah, honestly, it looked awful to me, and that's why I never got it.
it had some things. So it had some things in it that I liked, but it was just it always felt like they took a half step forward in like some of the
Because
cool
it's
areas.
kind of so. The little bit I've watched, at least, it looks like they kind of tried to go for those little more open areas. It's not just like
It was a tiny bit, yeah, but
but it looked so barren and like
it was kind of
yeah.
well, and Pokemon has always had that, especially in the recent ones they've always been a little handholdy for my taste.
They are very handholdy.
And like I could not get through Sun and Moon. Like I couldn't get past the first half hour because there were so many cutscenes, so many like things where it made you go to certain areas, and I just couldn't do it. Sword was a little bit better, and I actually really liked the Pokemon in Pokemon Sword. One of my new favorite Pokemons came from that game. Toxtricity. No, Toxtricity.
Oh, okay.
The punk rock poison.
Not Garbodor?
Type. No, not Garbodor's black and white, man.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No, but
a bunch of trash.
Well, every generation has its lame Pokemon. You know, you have Muck from the
Bidoof.
first for Bidoof. But yeah, so Sword was okay, but when I saw Legends Arceus, I got really excited. I didn't care if the graphics looked iffy. The fact that the change in formula seemed to be very drastic. That's what got me excited. And
Yep. Sorry, 1 second. Well, welcome, Ethan. Thanks for joining.
Hey, Ethan.
Hope your night's going good.
Thanks for stopping by. Thank you. Yeah. So with Pokemon Legends Arceus, I'm like, I don't even care if this game is choppy, if everything looks blurry. Just the fact that they're trying something super different compared.
Hey, we got Ari joining now.
Formula. Welcome, Ari.
Glad he can make it.
Anyway,
see you guys next week.
Yeah, see you. Bye. No. Yeah, no, it's just that trying something new, and it excites me. And since we're on the topic of Pokemon Arceus, the reviews are coming out now because the review embargo just lifted, and it's one of the better rated games from critics. I'll pull up the thing here, and let's see if I actually remembered to set up the window this time for y'all. I made sure to make it big so you could just read it as is.
I can't read it.
Shut up.
You gotta zoom in more.
Yeah, zoom in. This is the best I can do, okay? So
I actually wasn't joking. I can't read it at all.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna.
Can everybody else read it?
Even if you can't read it, you can see. I'm sure you can see the scores at least.
Can't you just Control plus the screen?
Control plus the screen. I suppose I can. God, you see what he makes me do here? Making me do all this work. All right. So, I mean, we have a score of 86, which I believe Pokemon Sword was in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken. So
I don't play any games. I don't play any game that's under 85 Metacritic.
Listen, if that Metacritic tag isn't green, I don't touch it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but we have.
No, that's actually really impressive for Metacritic.
We have 38 positive reviews, 3 mixed reviews, and 0 negative. Although one of those mixed reviews, surprisingly, I'm surprised this didn't get tagged as negative. But IGN Italia gave it a 50 out of 100.
You had me at IGN.
Well, it seems that really the people that didn't like this game are people who either
They're
just
Digimon
really,
fans.
They were really turned off by the graphics, or they didn't like the lack of multiplayer battles, because there's no multiplayer battles in Legends Arceus. You can trade with friends, but this is primarily like a single player thing.
The way I look at this, and I hope I'm not putting it on too high of a pedestal, but I'm hoping for basically Breath of the Wild Pokemon.
Well, and so that's the comparison. I mean, obviously they didn't shy behind that with the
Right.
marketing. They did the whole same like running shot,
Yep.
overarching landscapes, and even that like little solo piano in the ambient background.
Yeah.
I don't think it's. I imagine it's not going to be as definitive, but in some ways, this is definitely from at least from some of the reviews I've read and seen. This definitely seems to be kind of Pokemon's Breath of the Wild moment, and my hope is that Game Freak, and I hope this game sells well to the point where Game Freak listens and
Yeah, it
even
continues kind of. I
if
wouldn't
this
even
is
mind like if like there's like a, it's kind of like a separate team working on this sort of Pokemon game, and then there's like the classic Pokemon formula as
well,
well, like for
I
people that still
imagine
like
that's what
that.
they would do, and I mean they kind of did this whole Legends thing because it's technically a spinoff, but from what it sounds like, it's going to be like a main series thing. So they'll probably still have their traditional formula, Pokemon multiplayer stuff, and kind of more cookie cutter. But then they'll have this as its own separate series, and this is something that just far interests me far more. And I would love to see them continue to run with this. But just looking at some of the um, like Nintendo Life said it was one of the greatest Pokemon games ever made. VGC here says Pokemon Legends is the breath of fresh air that the series has needed for so long. It may not have been apparent from the trailers, but this is one of the most entertaining, engaging, and engrossing games in the entire history of the
Okay,
Pokemon series.
I'm gonna actually pause you there. So that was my biggest, I guess, sort of like Breath of the Wild. These basically the trailers that you were talking about, where it's showing like the running scenes with the scenery and all that. They kind of make it look empty, and that's been my biggest fear with the game.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hoping that they're just like trying to, I guess, keep it on the DL so that everybody's surprised. But it's also Breath of the Wild, kind of at a first glance, also looks kind of barren and empty. But once you're like really, on the path that you're going on in that game, there's actually quite a bit to do, and it's actually like a lot more in depth than it, I guess, looks like on the surface. So I'm hoping that's kind of how this game is.
Just want to acknowledge Bella says hi via Ari's chat title. Apparently, she is watching on the TV in the same house as Ari, just logged in with the same account. So, hello, Bella.
Fair
Thank
enough.
you
Hello,
for
Bella.
watching. But yeah, to what you were saying, Brennan, I think, honestly, I just think a lot of that, I mean, I think there is criticism to be had for things like, maybe it's not the most polished looking thing, but at least from what I can tell, I think a lot of this is just bad marketing on Game Freak's part. Whoever they had market this stuff, and I
They don't
also
have
think
they don't have to market it because it's Pokemon.
right, you don't have to.
It sells itself.
I think there's that. I don't know. I just this it's just, even if it's a little bit barren, like the thing that excited me the most from the reviews that I heard is when they got rid of the gym battles and they got rid of that. It's more focused on
Now there's like boss battles.
well, yeah, and on top of that,
Alpha
it's like
Pokemon.
so one thing about Pokemon ever since I was little was always like, okay, so you have this thing called the Pokedex, and your job is to basically research Pokemon. But all you have to do is catch this Pokemon, and everything automatically gets filled in, and we already know all the things to know about this Pokemon.
Right. So now
So
you're
it
like
kind of it
setting
doesn't
up
sound like
the
I'm actually researching, whereas just from catching them, it sounds like there are multiple ways that you can go about things. You don't have to be battling every
right.
single
Like you
time.
could throw a Pokeball right away. You could do some research first. You could toss a berry. Whatever it is. Yeah, it looks like there's just a lot more option, which is kind of nice. Ari said, "Would Arceus be the first? Is it Arceus or Arceus?
So I've heard both. I say I and I'm
Arceus?
probably
I'd say
I say
Arceus.
Arceus. I may
Arceus.
have I been saying Arceus this whole time? I hope I have.
I think
In my
so. I
head,
think so.
it's Arceus. Um, you can correct us in the comments.
You've
Go
been
ahead.
saying Pokemon Arceus.
Arceus.
Would Arceus be the first time the series has gotten top down to 3D RPG? No.
No. Sword was kind of a little bit of a hybrid. I think.
What about Pokemon Coliseum?
Well, Coliseum, that was more.
Or not Pokemon Coliseum. What's the one I'm thinking about where
You
you
thinking
had like the
Stadium?
motorcycle?
Oh, motorcycle.
You had like kind of like a motorcycle deal. It was kind of like there was like the Dark Lugia. What am I thinking?
Dark Lugia.
I gotta.
The only
I
one
gotta
I'm
find
thinking
it.
of right now is Pokemon DX or XD. What is it? I don't know. The GameCube one, but I don't even
Yeah,
remember that one.
I'm thinking I'm thinking the GameCube one as well.
Okay.
Maybe Coliseum is it?
But as far as like
No, it's not Coliseum. Wait.
as far as the movement goes, I believe.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it's
Pokemon Coliseum. I guess it's
okay.
still kind of top down.
Yeah, I think she's
It
more
was
referring
the
to like free camera
like
type
kind of a third
situation.
person, like a third person
I believe this is
story
the
type
first one
game.
to give you full reign over the camera. Um, whereas if it's been a few months since I've played Sword now, but um, with Sword, it was kind of. I don't even think there was camera controls in that one, if I recall now. They kind of had fixed positions, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't think so.
this is the first one, at least in my knowledge, that it's like full camera controls. You know, walk around just like a normal third-person adventure game. And yeah, no, it's just from everything that I've read, everything that I've heard, even with the minor complaints and stuff, I'm like, great, single player focused. The only multiplayer I really need is the trading because that stuff's fun. I like that it's more
Yeah,
immersive.
I don't even care to like go on and face somebody else that I know. I mean, maybe if I was,
Well,
back in daycare when I was 8.
and it's well, it's what's cool is because there are certain bits of lore, or bits of like I don't even know. I don't want to call it story or whatever, but you think when you go into this world of Pokemon with all these wild animals that there is some danger to it. And because of the fact that this is like when humans and Pokemon were first wary, humans in this time period, humans are wary of Pokemon. And so that's why this first Pokeball is invented. Your job is to catch them so you can study them and that sort of thing. And as far as an immersion factor, that's huge for me, especially with a game like this. I'm excited. I don't care if the frame rate is on a good day 20 FPS and
Hey, bro, you just
everything's
played The
smeared.
Witcher 3 on the Switch. Like
I just played The
you're
Witcher
ready.
3. Yeah, I'm
You're good to
ready. Yeah.
go.
This looks amazing. No, I'm excited. I don't
I
care.
am too.
I think
I don't think I can go to work tomorrow.
no. I have to if I want to get paid because I print the
Yeah,
checks.
that's fair.
But yeah, I don't really have much else to add to that this
Megan said
conversation.
Megan said the reviews are blurry currently, and then she said, "Oh, never mind, my YouTube was set to 144p."
Oh, then that would do it. That would do it. I thought you were about to like slide in a Switch joke or something. No, but
No.
these scores look great. I'll take it. I'm interested to see like post launch what the community thinks, but I think this is going to be a pretty big deal. Gonna go ahead and take a look at some of the comments here, and then we'll hop over to Discord. Let me get rid of this web page here so you can see our pretty faces. Hey, there we are. Just want to remind everybody before we start reading comments and Discord stuff. Guaranteed at the end of every show, we will always read any super chats. We read the comments too. But if things get too hectic, guarantee that we're gonna read any super chats given, and we will read any questions or comments or topics that you want us to discuss in the Digital Cynics podcast channel. Check out the link in the description down below. If we don't get to your question today in this show, I promise you we'll be able to get it in a future show. So, just going to quickly look at some stuff that's in the YouTube comments real quick.
In the YouTube comments?
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought we had more YouTube comments. I was mistaken. All right, well, let's just head over to Discord then. Make it easy
Wait,
on
from
us.
where? What do you mean?
I thought I saw YouTube comments, but I was mistaken.
Like on this video?
Yeah, on this video, I thought people were saying stuff, but
No.
Okay.
Nothing that we didn't already answer.
Oh, whoops. Hold on. Let me fix something here. I think you're frozen on me because I minimized you. Apologies,
Oh, gotcha.
folks.
Lovely.
There we go. Fixed it. We're professionals.
Yeah.
Okay. So. First off, okay, so it looks like we just got some Ari the Sorceress topics and questions, and then we'll be able to wrap up. She says, "Can we get some updates on the progress with the 3D printer and the mini drawing tablet / coffee pot? What's your favorite thing that you've each made with your Christmas gifts?" So just kind of asking updates on sort of the techie Christmas gifts that we've gotten.
Yeah, how's your...
Well, I drink my coffee machine. I drink my coffee machine. I drink out of my coffee machine every day. It's great. I just have my Zelda coffee cup in the background that's blurred up. It's ready to have a cup in after the show. Little post
after
coffee.
the show.
Yeah. I gotta be.
Wait,
Timberwolves.
Hold on. You drink coffee at 8 p.m.
Don't tell me how to live my life. Okay.
Oh my god.
Don't tell me how to live. Timberwolves play at 9. They go against Golden State. I need to be energized for my team.
Fair enough.
They gotta get enough 3-pointers so I can have a free beef and cheddar tomorrow.
I get, like, if I didn't work tomorrow, I guess sure, like, I'll drink some coffee, but like
I usually can sleep.
I do. Ariana, I do know your family. It's coffee from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. I, in fact, the first time I ever made coffee was at your house, and then it happened about a million other times.
One of the rituals to, or rite of passages to being
Staying
a friend
over.
of mine was you had to learn how to make my mother coffee. That was
Dude, it always smelled delicious, but I didn't make
yeah.
coffee for quite some time.
So yeah, I guess that's the story of my coffee machine. I haven't actually used. So my other sister got me a mini drawing tablet, and I haven't had the chance to really utilize it yet. I'm hoping to use it soon here. I've just been so busy with other projects that it's kind of just sat on my table. That's about it. I didn't get a whole lot of tech stuff for Christmas this year. But tell me about that 3D printer, Brennan. Are we going to see a video on that someday?
Dude, yeah. So I'm so bad at everything, and any sort of social media, or like I had actually, for instance, when I made my Cubone mask, I had multiple videos shot for it, and then I just never did like a finalized video for some reason. But yeah, I'm really bad at using like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff.
Yep.
But anyways, I'm still kind of learning somewhat the basics of it. There's a lot of little like tweaking and stuff you got to do.
Do you have that Cubone mask offhand?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you should grab it. I'll vamp for.
I thought
a second.
I've shown it before.
I don't think you haven't shown this one on camera.
Really?
Yeah, I think the only thing you showed was maybe the Gengar, or maybe you did. I don't know. It's hard to remember. Everything's a blur these days.
This is my 3D printed Cubone mask that I made.
What I found cool is that the 3D printing looks textured like a skull.
Yeah. No. The 3D printing isn't textured. That was my paint job.
Oh, that was your paint job. Well, even better. So like, yeah, the paint.
It's kind of hard to see. It's kind of hard to see the detail in there, but yeah. Other than that, I just got. I already showed Blake pretty much everything, but I also made this cool Master Chief bust. Turned out pretty good.
Looks super cool.
Now when I keep on my desk.
Seeing the progress reports on these, it's just like, man, should I get one? Do I have room in my office to get?
I also made this. I also made this Buddha, but his head is Darth Vader.
I was gonna say, is that a Darth Vader Buddha?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
That's great.
Yeah, it's been fun. I mean, I also I also made this full Hogwarts replica. Pretty cool.
Definitely.
Pretty detailed. Yeah.
What would you
Yeah.
say? What would you say your
I have a little Groot. I
little
painted
Groot?
that one.
It's a little out of focus there.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's kind of hard.
Just put it by your face. Yeah, there you go. Better.
Here we go again.
No, it's what would you say as someone who's like starting who's just kind of learning 3D printing? What's been the most challenging thing for you?
Putting it together.
Was that like after putting it together, like it was kind of all downhill from there?
No, it was uphill from there. Putting it together was the worst part.
Okay.
Megan wants me to show the Spider-Man that we printed and then she painted.
That's so cool.
The camera's kind of making it look them all look a little vibrant and weird, but yeah.
Bella says that's so cool. Ari says, "Damn." Bella says, "You need to start bragging more, Brendan, because those are so good."
Yeah, I'm still. So what I've found out. So all these prints are like, already designed by people that time and time again. I'm sure messed up their prints and stuff, and then they finally got it perfect, and then they put it on online basically, and it's just free for me to download. Oh wait, I also did Batman. Batman bust. That one turned out really good actually. But yeah, there's also like a lot of prints that you can pay money for that people made. And I'm kind of what I found out is there is only a limited amount of things you're probably going to actually want to print.
Yeah.
That are free. So.
Well, there's so many things on Etsy too, where it's like buy the 3D printing file or whatever, and I'm just like, man, if I had a 3D printer, I might actually do that.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of cool stuff to print off, but I don't know. We'll see. It's all kind of interesting because I've been messing around with like different types of filament and how like certain ones turn out better than others, and it's kind of interesting to kind of mess around with that. Like figuring out what temperature works best for you, stuff like that. So it's definitely not. It's not just like a hobby you're gonna master.
For sure, it's a process.
Right away. Yeah.
Finishing up here with the Discord comments. I just lost my spot there. There it is. Ari asks, "Can we get some updates on the prog?" Oh no, just thoughts on Security Breach and its relationship to the rest of the canon / how different is it to the other games? Security Breach meaning the Five Nights at Freddy's standalone game. I have not played Five Nights at anything outside of the first Five Nights at Freddy's. I honestly am a big baby when it comes to that game because I'm super hypersensitive to jump scares. From the reviews and the game and the Let's Plays that I've seen with it,
I just thought that game was boring.
It sort of, well, it worked to me. So to me, Five Nights at Freddy's works as like, a quick little indie PC game. It kind of, the way it expanded kind of didn't interest me. Security Breach, I would try if it were on sale for like, $10 or less. But we had I don't know when this thread is going to expire, probably within the 24 hours here, but Shadow Lord, friend of the channel, was kind enough to kind of go into detail as far as explaining a lot of the lore stuff and what that game is about. So if you want to check that out, you can. Thanks, Shadow Lord. But as far as what I could tell, it kind of wrapped up a lot of whatever story bits or lore pieces that it had. It seemed that it made Freddy Fazbear, the good guy in this one.
Is that the red one?
That's the main like bear that you see, I believe, in Five Nights at Freddy's. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. That's just how I understood it to be from the Let's Plays and stuff that I've watched. It seems the best analogy I've heard is it's like Alien Isolation, but slightly
Oh,
more
gotcha.
kid friendly. If by kid friendly you mean animatronics that murder you. But yeah, it's I've heard mixed. I've heard mixed things about that game. Like I said, I'd definitely give it a try if I got it like dirt cheap on Steam. But let us know in the comments or in Discord what you thought of it. And yeah, that about wraps it up for this one. I think we might end it a little early. Just double check in here. Ari says
Nah,
Shadow
not that
Lord
early.
because he was super helpful. We do have I just want to do some last bit of promotion. Just recently on Monday, did a video on my thoughts on having the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X for a whole year. Just kind of gave what I thought on both consoles, what you might want to think about when looking at getting either one, if you can be lucky enough to find yourself one of the new systems. Both consoles are great in my opinion, but I definitely encourage you to check that video out.
Spoiler alert, he actually just recommends getting the Soldier Boy
The Soldier game console. Yeah, no, that's the king of all consoles, right? But yeah, we'll have for those who aren't familiar or those who are watching in the future, we do these at the end of every single month. Definitely encourage you to check out Discord. Leave a like on this video. Let us know any topics in our Discord channel, what you would like to have discussed. Doesn't matter what the topics are. We'll talk about it on the show within reason. But yeah, new video coming out Monday. Probably a new video coming out between today and Saturday if something big news-wise drops. And just thanks everybody for following us. We are honestly we're almost like I think we're 400 likes or 400 subs away from 6K, which I feel like it was just a few days ago that we were at 5K. So we really appreciate all the support.
I like think it's been 3 weeks, man.
I appreciate the positive feedback that I've seen with this podcast. I think it seems to do a little bit better than our live let's plays. So I have fun.
And then actually, so Monday, I know we already talked about Pokemon now, but it's more of our like thoughts on how it's going to be. Blake and I do plan on playing some Pokemon this weekend. And then the Monday video is going to be like maybe like a 10-15 minute video. Just I guess on our first impressions of it personally. So
yeah, it's kind of like a discussion on what we've played.
I'm trying to keep it unbiased. I'm trying not to watch very many reviews. I'm also trying not to watch any gameplay before I get to play it. So
yeah. Do you need me to capture any gameplay? Would that be
helpful? Yeah. Since you have the ability to do so, that'd be actually awesome.
Yeah. If I'm able to, I'll try and get you some gameplay footage to splice in.
Yeah, maybe like 5 minutes of gameplay footage. It might be fine.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody.
Cool.
So much. We definitely appreciate it. Again, my name is Blake. That's my buddy Brendan.
I am Brendan.
And until next time, y'all have a good one.
Sub to the channel.
Sub to the channel. Like, subscribe, ring the bell.